It's pretty wild to think that one single AI tool is already changing how we work, how we create, and how we solve problems. And this isn't some prediction about the future. No, this is about a massive shift that is happening right now, and it's completely rewriting the rules for professionals everywhere. So let's dive into how you can actually tap into this power.
Seriously, just pause and think about that for a second. What if you had a partner that could just vaporize your biggest roadblocks, whether that's staring at a blank page, trying to write something, or just coming up with that next great idea? It sounds like something out of a movie, but this is exactly the promise that we're going to unpack today.
And that's the absolute key. The barrier to entry? It's gone. This kind of tech isn't locked away in some high-tech lab anymore. It's right there on your screen, ready to go. The only real question left is, are you ready to use it?
This slide just nails the shift we're talking about. The old way, well, that meant grinding it out for hours, right? Hitting a creative wall, getting totally lost in a spreadsheet, or just getting stuck on a problem. The new way is all about having a partner. It's about having this incredibly powerful assistant that gets you from question to insight, just like that.
So how do you make that jump? How do you go from just asking a chatbot random things to getting results that are truly professional grade? Well, the answer is a skill that's becoming absolutely essential, and it's called prompt engineering.
Now, don't let that term scare you off. All prompt engineering really means is learning how to ask for what you want in the right way. Think of it like this. It's the difference between asking a stranger on the street for directions versus giving a taxi driver a precise address. One gets you a vague hand gesture, the other gets you exactly where you need to be. And here's the secret formula. It's just a simple 4-part structure. First up, the task. Be super direct about your goal. Second, the context. Give it the background info it needs to do a good job. Third is persona, and this one is a total game changer. You tell it who to be, an expert marketer, a scriptwriter, a data analyst, and finally, format. Tell it exactly how you want that answer delivered. Okay, check this out. This is a perfect example of how those 4 pieces click together. The persona, professional YouTube growth strategist. The task, create a 10-minute educational script. The context is that it's for content creators. And the format, a script with simple language and real examples. A prompt like this is what separates the beginners from the pros.
All right, so now that we've got the theory down, let's see how this stuff actually works in the real world. We'll start in the creative space, where this tool is basically a massive amplifier for anyone building a brand or making content.
If you make any kind of content, this is huge. Seriously, it's not about replacing your creativity. It's about getting rid of all the friction. It helps you brainstorm when you're feeling stuck. It can structure your ideas so they have more impact, and it can handle all that tedious but super important optimization work. And the result? You end up making better content way faster, and you don't burn out.
Okay, writing and ideas, that all makes sense. But what about visuals? Can an AI that's all about text actually help you with something like graphic design? Well, the answer is yes, and it's kind of amazing.
This is one of its lesser-known superpowers. You can literally upload an image, like a YouTube thumbnail or a website banner, and just ask for a critique. It'll analyze it based on real design principles like color theory and contrast. And here's the wild part. It can even analyze the emotional response your image might trigger, giving you a massive leg up in getting more people to click.
Now let's switch gears from the creative side to the analytical. This is where AI becomes your own personal data scientist, making really complex information understandable for, well, everyone.
Oh man, this question. I think every creator, marketer, and business owner has felt the pain of this one. You're looking at a chart, you see a big dip, and you spend the next 5 hours trying to figure out what on earth went wrong. It's so frustrating, and you usually end up just guessing.
But now, you can just upload your analytics file, that CSV from YouTube or your sales platform, and ask that exact question. The AI will crunch the numbers and give you a clear, plain English summary of what probably happened, and, more importantly, what you should do next. It turns that confusing data into an actual strategy.
And here's another one of those universally frustrating moments, hitting a technical wall. A weird bug in your code or some bizarre error in your video editing software that just stops your whole day cold and sends you down a rabbit hole of old forum posts.
Instead of wasting hours looking for a needle in a digital haystack, you can now just describe your problem to an AI. It can debug code, figure out what's wrong with your software, and even write little custom scripts to fix your issue. It's like having an expert on call, 24/7, ready to get you unstuck in minutes, not hours.
And hey, it's not just for work. AI is also an incredible learning partner. It can be your personal tutor, a research assistant that never gets tired, or even a language teacher, making education way more accessible for everyone.
So when you put all of these capabilities together, it leads us to a pretty stark conclusion about the professional world today. There's a new line being drawn in the sand.
The whole conversation has shifted. This isn't about humans versus machines anymore. It's about the professionals who learn how to use these powerful new tools versus those who don't. The advantage you get by using AI is just becoming too big to ignore.
And this right here, this quote is the single most important takeaway from all of this. Technology has always rewarded the people who adapt. From the spreadsheet to the internet, every big new tool has changed how work gets done. And AI is the next, and maybe the biggest, step in that story.
At the end of the day, that's what this is all about. This isn't some magic wand, it's a tool. And just like any powerful tool, its real value comes from your skill in using it. By getting good at something like prompt engineering, you're not just learning a new trick, you're giving yourself a serious competitive edge.
And that's exactly why this is so urgent. We're not getting ready for something that's on the horizon. The things we just talked about, they're available right now. The race has already started.
So the final question isn't really about the technology anymore. It's about you. The tool exists, it's right there for you to use, and it's unbelievably powerful. The only thing left to decide is, what are you going to build with it?